Hello, whenever and wherever you're viewing this program, and a special welcome to the Kenneth City residents, as this is the candidate forum for the Kenneth City Mayor. My name is Ken Reed. I'll be your moderator for tonight. This forum is facilitated by the League of Women Voters, St. Petersburg area. The League of Women Voters is celebrating 100 years of informing voters and protecting democracy. Please visit 411vote.org for complete and unbiased information on the candidates and voting. Now, the League rules are intended to provide all candidates with equal and fair representation. I will ask the candidates a series of questions, and each will have 1 minute to respond. At the conclusion of the questions, the candidate will be allotted 2 minutes to present a closing statement. The League has solicited questions from residents last week. I'm grateful for the dedication of the candidates, and on behalf of the League, I want to thank you for the sacrifice that you give, because you're giving up time for your family and your work, and we really appreciate the fact that you could participate in this forum tonight. Since we are in a recorded format, we are unable to take questions from the audience during the forum. Please note that the views expressed by the candidates do not represent those of the League of Women Voters or of any co-sponsors of the forum. Now, let's go ahead and get to the candidates, and I'll introduce both of them right now. So I'm going to introduce the first candidate, and I'm going to ask you just to say your name and hello to the audience. The first candidate tonight is candidate Robert Howell.
Hello.
And the second candidate is candidate Jeffrey L. Faunus.
Hello, and thank you for the opportunity today.
Okay, we're going to go straight into the questions. I'm going to begin with the first question going to candidate Howell. Candidate Howell, what do you think is the most important issue facing Kenneth City today?
Thank you for the question. The most important thing is probably the budget and the workings of the budget. The budget is something very difficult to understand and to operate. And the major concern going on right now, from what I'm gathering, is people's opinion of how the budget is being ran, and, you know, money wasted, so on and so forth. And through the people that we have in the management of our town are quite qualified to run the budget and present the budget. It's all been presented to us and explained, and so on and so forth. And I just saw the 30 seconds. That's probably the biggest concern going on within the police department. There's all kinds of, you know, improvement of the town's, you know, looks, and I just got a stop sign right when I got going.
Yeah, I know it's a very tight format, but I appreciate you adhering to the rules. Thanks so much. Candidate Faunus, same question. What do you think is the most important issue facing Kenneth City?
Thank you. Right now, it is the budget, because our budget is $3.5 million, and we've been over budget for the last few years. And $1.4 million is taken up by the police department and the fire department, and the rest of it's taken up by the town and the council. What we need to do is we need to bring economical growth to our town, because we lost a lot of revenue in Kmart, and Chapter 11 is being filed by Old Time Pottery. So we need to talk to some investors, and we need to bring in growth so we can keep our taxes down and bring money to this town so we can keep this town going.
Thank you very much for that. I'm going to go to the second question, and I'll begin with you, candidate Faunus. Please describe your involvement with this Kenneth City community.
Well, if I'm elected for mayor, I would love to listen to what the people have to say, and I will hear what they have to say, and I will work with them. and I will communicate with them throughout the whole time I'm as a mayor. I want to make sure that the communications between us is well. So I don't think there's enough communication right now between the town council and the mayor and what's going on. The people in the town need to know what's going on, and we need to listen to them, and we need to do what they would like us to do.
Thank you very much. And now the same question to candidate Howell. Please describe your involvement in the Kenneth City community.
Well, I used to be president of the KCABA, Kenneth City Area Business Alliance. I am a Kenneth City Police Department volunteer. Okay. I used to, my wife and a couple other people, we used to put the festival on after the 4th of July. I've been very active in everything around the town. I've been here since 2008, and I've been involved in everything. You know, I keep my finger on the pulse and see what's going on. So, yeah, that's it. Involved.
Yeah, thank you very much for that answer. And I'm going to start with the third question again to you, candidate Howell. If elected, what do you hope to accomplish?
Probably the police department. I would like to get them to be more involved in the community, and by that I mean not necessarily traffic. I'm talking about being in the neighborhoods, patrolling, talking to people, getting to know people by name. The people in the city getting to know them by name, and the beautification of the 54th and 58th Street area, you know, getting that area of the town cleaned up and make it look more like a modern city instead of, you know, older. Let's go with that. That's good.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that response. The same question to you, candidate Faunus. If elected, what do you hope to accomplish?
Well, first off, I don't want to be a part-time mayor. I want to be a full-time mayor. I think that we need to bring economical growth here. We need to talk to other towns to see what they're doing to raise businesses coming into their town, so we can bring businesses here, so we can bring people outside of our community here, so we can keep our taxes down, so we can get growth here. And we need to work on our infrastructure and getting all our stop signs upgraded, because they're totally illegal and they're not the right size. They don't have the right stickers on them. The reflection's not right. And we'd like to work with the police department and the fire department to get to know the community. And I just want to make this town beautified and new buildings and businesses.
Thank you for that response. Beginning again with you for question 4, candidate Faunus. Do you support the Kenneth City Police Department?
I absolutely support the Kenneth City Police Department. If you look at other towns that don't have their own police departments, their property values go down. If you bring in the sheriff's department, like some people want to bring in here, what happens is they raise their rates 4% every single year, and then all of a sudden we are booked out of what we can afford in the future years to come. So we need to keep our police department, to keep our property values up. And I just say that our police department is one of the best. They're patrolling every night. They're watching people's homes. I even heard where they stopped in front of somebody's house and knocked on their door because their garage door was open to say, hey, you need to close your garage door, it's late. And they protect the community and they care about the people that live here.
Thank you so much. And now the same question to you, candidate Howell. Do you support the Kenneth City Police Department?
Well, yeah, I told you earlier that I'm a Kenneth City police volunteer, but understand this, we can support the police department all we want. it's not up to the council whether we have a police department or whether we have the sheriff's department come in. That takes a referendum, and we don't have any control of that. So as long as we have a police department, they have my support 100%. If you can look at my record, you'll see that I voted for more police cars. Everything that they've asked for, I've been for them. We've had, I think, 3 police chiefs since I've been involved, and I've got to know every one of them, and I listen to what they say, and yay, raw police.
All right, thank you so much. The 5th question is going to go to you, candidate Howell, first once more time. What purposeful actions will you take to diversify town civics and employment to include people from previously marginalized groups, for example, racial and ethnic minorities and the disabled?
You're asking me about employing those people?
It's a question of how you plan to diversify the civics and employment to include them.
I don't really know. I mean, you can't have someone disabled or whatever working for the police department. As far as racial, I don't know if we've even had anybody from a different race apply for a job. I would think that particular situation.
I'll clarify for you quickly. It's not just the police department, but the entire city.
Well, the entire city. You have a public. Okay. You have a public works department that has, what, 4 employees. You have a city office staff that has 3 employees in there. And I would leave it up to Matt as a city manager if we don't have a racial problem, in hiring somebody. If somebody comes in from a different race, I'm sure, if they're qualified, we'd hire them. But I don't know of anything that we need to hire for right now.
Okay, thank you so much. Candidate Fanas, the same question. I'll repeat that because I know it's rather complicated. What purposeful actions will you take to diversify town civics and employment to include people from previously marginalized groups, such as racial and ethnic minorities and the disabled?
Well, first off, I would make sure that there's parking ramps and stuff for the disabled. And I don't believe in racism because I think we're all human beings. I think that we all are men and women. And I'll tell you, this racial thing's getting to be a little too far. If you are able to take care of the job, you got the qualifications for the job. I don't care if you're handicapped. I don't care if you're Black, Puerto Rican, white, Hispanic, Chinese. It doesn't matter. As long as you can do the job and are qualified for the job, I have no problem hiring you. We just want a strong staff for this town.
Thank you very much. And now for the 6th question, and I'll direct that again to you, candidate Fanas. Why are you qualified to run for office?
Well, I've been working on this for a long time. I took a class and graduated from this class. It's called CONA. It's the Council of Neighborhood Associations. I was looking to run as a council member in another town, and I decided to take this class. The class was sitting with mayors, sitting with the town attorneys, and learning about what they do, which was a phenomenal class. It was a 9-week course. I also am vice chair for the Florida Water and Pollution Control Operations Association, or Region 4 of the state of Florida. I'm the vice chair to the director, and I've been on that for over 5 years. And I know infrastructure. I've been working construction for 10 years, basically almost all my life, but 10 years for a big construction company that built homes in towns.
All right, thank you very much. And I'm going to direct that same question to candidate Howell. Why are you qualified to run for this office?
I have been involved with Kenneth City since 2008. I have attended all the, and you're going to hear this in my final statements. I've attended all the town meetings, council meetings, and everything since 2008. I have been vice mayor for two-year terms. I have been a business person for the last 50 years. I've owned my own business. I am a general contractor. I'm a certified water remediation company, and I own a carpet cleaning business also. I've worked with people all my life. I've done nothing but hire people, teach people, and work with people. I feel as though that I'm very qualified with the experience that I've had working with all the people who run the town of Kenneth City.
Thank you very much for that. Question number 7. I think everybody knows that the pandemic, it seems to be in the forethoughts of everybody in the U.S. How do you think Kenneth City should address concerns about maintaining low positive rates of COVID-19 while keeping businesses open? And this again is to candidate Howell.
I think that we should follow the Pinellas County, what they're putting out to do this and to do that. They have notified all of our businesses in Kenneth City about masks coming in. I don't think that there's a lot that we could really do about it except for follow the present rules that have been told to us by Pinellas County. I don't think making up a bunch of stuff is going to help in the town of Kenneth City. We're residential, okay? So just common sense.
All right, thank you very much. And candidate Faunus, the same question, I'll repeat that. How do you think Kenneth City should address concerns about maintaining low positivity rates on COVID-19 while keeping businesses open?
I think that we should follow the rules and regulations of what they're talking about with wearing masks, social distancing, respecting others. If you're around an elderly person and you're younger, respect their space, wear your mask, and just make them feel comfortable. And if we continue to go on and get our vaccinations and stuff, then I think that this pandemic will go away. And I don't think we need to close our businesses up because they need to survive. I think that if we just do our social distancing, stay apart inside the restaurants, and respect others. And if you're sick, stay home. Don't go out if you feel like you got a cough or a cold. Just stay home and don't spread your germs. Wash your hands and just continue to respect yourself and others because it's a serious thing.
Thank you very much. Now for the 8th question. What do you view as the most important environmental issue for Kenneth City, and how would you plan to address that? Candidate Faunus.
Well, I think our infrastructure is old and we need to work on getting the infrastructure fixed, our stormwater system. And after that's fixed, then we need to go and grind our roads down and resurface them because we have a lot of potholes in this town. But we have to get the revenue up. We have to bring in businesses and stuff so we can afford to do this. It's going to take time, but we need to get our infrastructure going and move forward and make this town where somebody, when they come into our town, they want to say, hey, this town is beautiful. And sometimes when you're working on infrastructure, it doesn't look like there's a lot of beauty in that, but it's a big part of our community.
Thank you very much. In candidate Howell, the same question. What do you view as the most important environmental issue for Kenneth City, and how do you plan to address it?
Well, again, we're such a residential neighborhood and have our town, and we have such a small, really, area of business. You know, Kmart was mentioned earlier. Well, you know, Kmart building is still paying property taxes. The only thing that we're losing on that being empty is the tax on their license. And, you know, that's going to continue on. Someone's going to come back in there you can bet your bottom dollar on that, because the company who owns all that property is paying all the property tax on that, and they certainly want relief. So they're going to be working real hard on that. As far as the storm sewers, yeah, they need to be fixed, and yeah, the roads need to be fixed. All that has to come in time. You know, it's just something that you don't just say, well, fix all the roads. You know, that's millions of dollars. We need somebody as a town manager who knows how to go get the money from grants and so on and so forth, so we can get these things done. It's easy to say we need to do it, but getting it done is the issue.
All right, thank you very much. Again, to candidate Howell for this next question. The Sierra Club has a program to help municipalities transition to 100% renewable energy by 2050, and that program is called Ready for 100. Would you support the city's participation in the Ready for 100 program? Why or why not?
I'm 70 years old. In 2050, I won't be around. I would think that it's going to be those types of decisions is going to have to be made at a later date. There's so many different things, different angles going on. Again, you can say anything that the people want to hear, but that doesn't mean it's going to work. You know, it's kind of like in high school, and you're on the student council for all these years. You know, from your freshman, sophomore, and junior year, you're president of the city student council. And then in your senior year, someone comes along and says, well, we're going to do away with homework. We're going to have pizza day. We're going to have an ice cream machine in the cafeteria. They have no control over that, but that's the things that they say. So, you know, let the powers to be take care of that stuff as it needs to be done.
Thank you for that. Candidate Fanas, the same question. The Sierra Club has a national program to help municipalities transition to 100% renewable energy by 2050. That program is called the Ready for 100 program. Would you support the city's participation in the Ready for 100 program? Why or why not?
I think that we should support the program. I think that we need to look at putting all our buildings with solar power. That's one way we can go about it. I think we need to look at having electric cars and bringing in areas in our community where we can have golf carts and electric vehicles that are able to charge up, put in charging stations for the cars in our parking lots and playground areas and stuff. I think that we should everything happen right away, but we need to look at what they're talking about and really take a serious look at it and go forward with it.
Okay, thank you very much. Now I'm going to give the last question before we go to closing statements. And this will start with candidate Fanas. What makes you the most qualified person for this office?
I can't hear you.
What makes you the most qualified person for this office?
Well, number one, all my life I worked all over the United States. I've owned my own businesses, and I also worked in nuclear power plants, road construction. I've worked with doing a lot of things in my life, and I just say that I am here to work with the people of Kenneth City. I know how to bring in real estate. I will go out and I will work, and I will talk to other communities, talk to other mayors, work with them to bring in revenue so we can keep our taxes low. And I'm just ready to work for the people. I want to listen to what they have to say, and I will just go ahead and I will work with them, and I will get back to them. We need to work together as a community to grow this town so people will want to come here and be proud of who we are and where we live.
Thank you very much. And the same question to candidate Howell. What makes you the most qualified candidate for this office?
I have been involved with Kenneth City's government for 13 years. I've been to all the meetings. I know everybody. I've been vice mayor for 2 years, or two terms as mayor, vice mayor. I understand what's going on here. Like I said before, you can come in with all the great ideas, but if you don't understand the budget, how many apples coming in, how many apples going out, you know, and you say, well, we want to make the town grow. Well, we have no room for growth. The only thing we can do is redo what we have. We can't expand our borders because of Lellman doesn't want us annexing anything from them. So our growth has to be within. We just have to improve ourselves within, not expand, make the city bigger. We don't have room for that.
Okay, thank you very much. And now I'm going to open this up for closing statements, and I'm going to do this in alphabetical order by last name. So, candidate Howell, you have 2 minutes for a closing statement.
Okay. My wife and I have owned several businesses in this area for over 50 years, including the last 12 years as a Kenneth City-based business. Shortly after we moved into our Kenneth City home in 2008, we began attending our town council meetings. Since then, we have attended about 98% of all council meetings and workshops. We have also voted in every election since then, local election since then. I have served 2 terms as vice mayor of Kenneth City, making decisions and voting on policies that affect our town government and our citizens. During that time, I have witnessed a long list of improvements and beautification projects completed. These improvements earned us first place for property value increase of all 24 Pinellas County municipalities in 2019 and 2020. I love Kenneth City, and as vice mayor, I have listened to our residents' concerns and suggestions. I have worked with 6 different council members. I have encouraged everyone to maintain respect for each other and to work together as a team. I have worked closely with our town manager and his staff and have a good working relationship with all of them. I would work more closely with town businesses to hear their concerns. I want to make more improvements to 54th Avenue and 58th Street corridor. I also propose that our police department focuses more on being a community-friendly police force. I want to see our officers become more visible in the neighborhoods and getting to know the people on a personal basis. I feel that my 50 years business background, my council attendance, and my 2 terms as vice mayor more than qualify me for this position as mayor of Kenneth City. I ask you for your vote and pledge to listen to our citizens and work to the best of my abilities to earn their respect and confidence. Thank you.
Thank you for that. And now, candidate Faunus, you have 2 minutes for a closing statement.
Hi, first off, I want to thank you for the opportunity, and the people. If you elect me for mayor, I will work for you, I will listen to you, we will get things done in this town that you have never seen done before. I feel like this town has been set back for the last 7 years and has been going downhill. We need to bring in more growth to this town so we can keep our taxes low, so we don't have to raise our taxes. We want to beautify this town with more businesses so we can bring in outside community members to enjoy our town and to bring revenue to us. We want to work on our infrastructure. We want to work on our roads. It's going to take time, but we'll get it done. We're also going to work on some of the stuff that was brought up in talking to the people. They want to see that the police department is back on their toes and letting the cars going down 46th Avenue to slow down. They've been in a speeding trap there for a long time, but nothing's been done about it. I support the police department 100%. I don't think they've been getting enough money to get their education and their radar facilities. We only have 2 police officers that are radar qualified. We need to get all of our police officers radar qualified. And our police officers do work with the people in the town and they do get to know them. I'm very proud of our police department and they watch us every single day and night. I can go out at 2 o'clock in the morning and they're driving down my street. And I talk to other people in the town and they feel the same way. I will work for you. I will work full-time for you, not a part-time mayor. I will bring communities to us to spend money here. Right now, we don't have people coming to our town.
Thank you very much. On behalf of the League of Women Voters for St. Petersburg area, and I'd like to say also on behalf of the Kenneth City Community, thank you both so much for participating in this forum tonight. I think it's so important for the voters to get a chance to meet the candidates, to see them not only in how they stand on personalities, but how they present themselves as people. And I really can't thank you enough for both participating. Now, before I do close, I'd like to remind everyone of some upcoming election deadlines. The first one is that you have to register before February 8th. Please refer to the League of Women Voters St. Petersburg area website for information on how and where to register. Please register now to vote by mail. If you do request a mail-in ballot, we strongly encourage you to request as soon as possible and then to return it well before the deadline. You can request a mail-in ballot anytime between now and February 27th. Also a reminder, there are no early voting sites for this election. And even the most important date is election day is March 9th, closing at 5 p.m. The recording of this forum is available both on the League of Women Voters Facebook page and our YouTube channel. On behalf of the candidates, the League of Women Voters for the St. Petersburg area, thank you so much for your attention, and thank you again to both candidates for your participation tonight. Take care.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.